Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here, and welcome to another review. And in this video, I want to talk about the TV show that has impacted me the most this year for sure, which is Arcane. Arcane season 2 just ended in 2021. I was impressed with the first season. Amazing art, of course, produced by Riot Games and fortiche studio, a French studio who is known for doing a lot of advertisement. They have done videos for music tracks for Gorillaz, for example, for other bands. Now the premises of Arcane are simple. We are talking about a futuristic world where there is a combination where you see technology and magic come together, and the technology is known as hex tech. This technology is controlled by very powerful forces and the rich people and the rich families of the world. And primarily the focus is in these two cities. There is a utopian city named Piltover. This is at the top of the food chain, if you call it that. There are families who control the life here. Life is good for whoever lives in this utopian world. And then you have the city underbelly, or the city of Sun, which is on the outskirts outside of this city. This is where, the people who are on the fringes of this particular universe, this particular world live, where all the seedy things happen. There was a war, and there is a separation between these two cities. There's a lot of things that I like about this show, of course, is the fact that there's a lot of geopolitical messages in there. But in the center of all of this, there are these two sisters who are orphan, and these sisters, one is Violet, and then you have Powder, who becomes Jinx. These two sisters are totally different. They come from a background, they lost their parents through the wars. They're raised by a friend of their parents, Vander, and Vander is a man of peace, also a man that has known war. He's a leader of the community, people love him. And there's also Silco, who is the crime lord in this area, and he is the totally opposite of Vander. They grew up together, they're like brothers, but they have come different ways because they have different political, social views. And in the midst of all of this, of course, between the tragedy that is happening here, these sisters grew apart. They're separated, and they are totally opposite and different. And the whole thing, the story revolves around them. There is a conflict here about controlling the power of magic, of hex tech. And there's so many different characters. Many of them have been taken from the game. And the great thing about the show is that they are given a backstory. But here we can go deeper into the reason why they are where they at, and their standing, and the reason of their power, and their suffering, and their struggle. And it's such a great way to really get to know these characters that you don't really need to play the video game to really fall in love with them. Each character is flawed. Not only you see the struggle in the relationship between Vi and Jinx, you also see that in Vander and Silco, and these conversations they have. You also have other characters like Jace, who is a person who is ambitious. He wants to improve through magic and through this technology every member of society. And you also have Victor, his friend, and they are partners in trying to bring things together. Season 1 really introduce all these characters and their dilemmas and their struggles, their entanglements, but at the same time you see the motivation behind it and the brokenness that they're dealing with. And that is the best part. The first season for a lot of people was the best season because it was powerful, it was strong, the art was amazing, the music was amazing, all of that. But for me, the second season, although some people have considered a bit slower in pace, for me was the most impactful because you can see the character development. Everything is bare in front of you. You feel like every member of this story is naked, and you're able to see what they're struggling with, how they feeling about certain things, what they fear, what is it that they are hoping, and also the desperation and loss of hope. It's a lot of things in this particular show that were so impactful. There's some breaking moments, there are losses, people die, there's a lot of things that happen here. This is not for children. This is not animation that was created with a purpose for the family. These are for people who are open to listen, to watch, and people evolve and at the same time devolve into something that really represents what's deep inside of their sorrows, their pain, their struggles. Each character from, Vi to Jinx, you see that how they get dissected through the show and what they're going through. You don't find the villains unlikable at all. At the beginning, yeah, villains are villains, but then you start finding that you can relate with their train of thought, the motivation behind their actions. Each one of them, Silco, you start understanding and in so many ways agreeing with his point of view. With Jinx, with the point of Vander, every member, Jace, Victor, who becomes a very important part of the story of the second season. And there's a lot of animalistic point of views here. What's the purpose of doing what we do? What is the purpose of life? What is the meaning with there's so much suffering? But at the same time, you can see the hope and also the desire, the human desire to hold on to something. And I think that that's the beauty of the show. And I would say second season was even better, in my opinion, in the art department. I felt that there was a combination of art, the music soundtrack that was added, the songs, they all play so well. There's different strokes of art, different variations of art. It is such an artistic way to present a story that I don't think anything else that we have seen so far can come close. Now, the story is not a happy ending at all. They're not happy endings. There's a lot of sadness. There's, at the end, of course, there's resolution. There is, we come to a conclusion. The show wasn't meant to be ran into like several seasons. There's only 2 seasons. It's a total of 18 episodes. But it's a story that is so comprised at the same time. It is just perfect from beginning to end. And when you come to the end, yeah, you love these characters, but you realize that whatever comes after that, you really don't need to add anything. It's such a perfect story, well told. And through everything, you feel the pain of each character and each member and what they go through. I fell in love with the show for sure. And there are a lot of ideas that are thrown here, a lot of social commentary, a lot of things, even philosophical point of views that I'm not in total agreement with. And there, of course, lifestyles, things that are there, that you may, if you're not into certain things, or you're not as open-minded, you will have a hard time to deal with some relationships. But that didn't offend me at all, because I was really in tune with these people and how flow they were and how open they were and how sincere and honest they were with their own pain. And that to me was the great thing about Arcane. I love it. I think the whole thing, there were moments that I felt like, man, I feel like I want to cry about this situation. And I really don't, I can get emotional, but there were moments in this show that I felt like, man, that touches home. I feel connected, or I relate through my life in some of these situations that people are facing. And the odds that seem to go work against you no matter what. So yeah, it's not a happy ending, but the story really sends that message well. And to me, that's the beauty of it. And it's a beautifully rendered story. Everything, even in the imperfections, you can skip them because the beauty of the story. And at the end, a lot of things are, to be honest with you, you can see a mile away how the ending is going to play out. But it doesn't really matter because at the end, it's the story, it's the journey that you go through, and you see these people and you're connected with them, even though you already know there's people that, for example, family members or friends who they're gonna end bad, and things are gonna end up bad for them because of the choices they make, but you love them and you care for them, even though you see the signs all over the place. This is the same that happened here. I love the story. I enjoyed it. To me, nothing has been done that can be at this level. And I don't think we're going to see anything soon at this level in the storytelling. It was a really well thought out story. If I have to choose, if I have to put a score to this, in my book, this is a 10 out of 10. Even though there are imperfections, you could say that there are good things in season 1, better than season 2. And you could say the same thing about season 2 that are better. In some parts for me were my favorite parts on season 2 that on season 1. In season 1, I felt like season 2 completed things for me. Even though in the imperfections in between, on the storytelling or whatever aspects, or things that were left hanging in there and maybe unfinished, I still find myself enjoying. I think it's a perfect representation of what art should be and how a story should be told. So again, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. Yes, I do recommend it. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. You need to spend time. You need to dedicate time. You need to be open for it. Have open mind. Enjoy the art. Enjoy the moments, but also reflect on the things that are told here, on the story that you're seeing. And if you watch season 1 and you haven't watched season 2, I would recommend you to really give it more time. If you're still kind of slow on season 1, believe me, season 2, it's going to evolve into something very, very special. And yes, it's not going to be a happy ending, but it's going to be an ending that is necessary for the story that it's told. So my friends, what do you think about Arcane? Do you enjoy the show? Do you watch it? Have you watched it? Are you planning to do so? Let me know. Share your comments with me. Share your thoughts with me in the comments below. So my friends, thanks for watching. God bless. Take care. Don't forget to like, to comment, and to subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button to remind of the next video. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. The links are in the description. And please consider supporting the channel financially through Patreon. My friends, God bless. Take care. I will talk to you again. Bye-bye.